So here we've got a Cyrus 3 amplifier, and the two fuses on the main board are burst. So I'm suspecting that we've got an output stage gone wrong here. Probably the output transistors are gone. And this must be a very early Cyrus 3. I can see a few things I've never seen before. One obvious thing is that the screws, they're all sort of crosshead screws. They're not the normal T10 screws. And then the heatsink clips, they're very different from what I normally see as well. So I think it's been an early one. So just before I take the board out, I just thought I'd have a look at, well, what caught my eye was the usual thing where you can see the capacitors here. They're tending towards the hot items. This guy straight in front here is tending towards the regulator there. And then we go along here, here's another one bent towards the hot transistor. And you know, if we go to the other side of the unit, it's the same story. Here's a regulator here, and the capacitors are bent towards the hot regulator. And we look under this ribbon cable, if we can do that. Yeah, there we are there. So there's another a big electrolytic capacitor, and it's got a tendency towards that hot regulator, and you can see there's another capacitor jammed up right behind it. So, you know, it's just, this is one of the things I go on about quite a lot. That to me seems more than a coincidence when you see sort of every capacitor in sight there is bent towards something hot. So, you know, it just strikes me that that's part of the plan to just have these parts have a limited life, really. So anyway, let's we've got this board at the back here, which is all the input selection and stuff, so we need to take that out before we can figure out what's going on with the main board. Alright, so we removed all the rear panel screws that appear to hold this board in, and I'll just try and... So actually with this revision, that's another thing that caught me, because it's very different from later models. We need to actually remove the rear panel completely, and then it obviously folds over this way, and we can get into this board here. So let's take a look at that. So as I say, this is all the input selection and switching. But I think what we'll do is we'll remove that board, and we'll look at the main board, and we'll check the power rails without the fuses and things like that, and we'll check these transistors to see if we can figure out why these fuses are blown. So let's just undo this ribbon cable, and we'll move that board to the side for now. You can see that we've got some capacitors on there as well. So I checked the transistors there. These ones seem okay just on basic tests so far. This channel here, I've definitely got one that's shorted, and the sort of readings I'm getting from its neighbour there doesn't look very good either. So I think this channel's dead. So we'll whip them out, we'll measure them out of board and just make sure. I can't remember what transistors are in here actually, what the models are, but we'll figure that out. And then the other thing I notice here is we've got some of these tantalum capacitors, the sort of teardrop shaped capacitors, and we saw that in a tuner recently of a similar age to this, where one of them had gone dead short, and I mentioned that they were kind of notorious for doing that. So there could be a problem in that area as well. Do see some, you know, there is some surface mount stuff here as well as through hole transistors, and there's a few sort of parts on their sides and stuff like that. So it's I've never really seen that before. So as I say, it's obviously a very early model. So let's say we'll take these heat clips off now, and we'll whip these transistors out and see if that see where we go for there. We'll identify what they are, get them replaced, and go from there. So here we are with the board out, and we can see there's a few mods in the board, capacitor here and some diodes, resistor. Anyway, I've removed these transistors, and this is a Cyrus mark transistor PT77, which is just equivalent to a BUV48. It's actually not equivalent, it's the same. It's just that the PT77 is a Cyrus mark. And when I take these out of the board, they actually measure okay. They measure fine here. So nothing wrong with them. However, when we go back to the board and we check the driver devices, they're both short. So that's the reason that the main transistor looked bad when we checked it on the board, just due to the drivers being bad. There's another transistor next to the driver here that is reading short. Now whether that's just because it's connected to the driver in a certain way, don't know. Next stage then we'll just take out these drivers and see how they read out of the board. So I removed the drivers there and we've replaced them, and I've also had to replace the main transistors. When we've done a basic check there just with the DMM, just doing a sort of back-to-back diode test on the thing, and it read okay. So that generally gives you an indication that it's alright, but you do need to be careful, because that can read okay and then there's still some other parameter gone, there's some leakage or the gain's gone, and that's exactly what's happened here. When I put the transistor in this is just an HFE tester here, I'm measuring sort of a gain of between 1 and 2. So that's it's just not going to operate properly, although it tested out okay with a basic DMM test. So that can catch you out, and you've really got to go and do this further test. So they've been replaced. Right, so we're almost ready to start applying some power, but before we do that, I think we'll go around the board and we're going to have to change a bunch of these capacitors. We commented about them being pointed towards the hot items, and if we check ESR here, that it's not ridiculous, but it's not good. 3 ohms there, and then this guy down here, it's way up there, sort of 7 ohms, and I think I can't even measure this guy. It's just completely open. So we'll go and replace them, and then we'll think about applying some power to the board and bringing it back up. Right, so I've been around and changed these various capacitors that were all dry, so that's all good. And I'm remembering why I don't like these very early models of Cyrus. The PCB is absolutely shocking, and when you go to try and remove even a simple 2-lead component like a capacitor, it just wants to lift the land, or the through-hole plating comes away with the actual component. So you really got to be very careful, otherwise you're just going to tear the lands up, and then you're going to have to wire mod them and all the rest of it. Anyway, they're in, so that's all good. And I did apply some power to the unit, and if you look at, I'm using my usual sort of protection resistors here in place of the fuses, and you can see I burnt them. And so what had happened actually is I'd put the driver transistors in the opposite places, and that just meant there was a through path shorting out the supply. So these smoked, which was a bit of fun. Unfortunately that wasn't on camera, but anyway, it was an easy enough fix, just swapping these parts. And of course, if I wasn't using these protection resistors, then I would have blown a set of transistors again. So they did their job, and they still work. It's just that they've been smoking, so the kind of paint is off the surface of them, but that's all fine. So it's powered up, and I've had it sitting and I've been setting the bias. Now these units don't have a kind of test point to allow you to do that. You know, most of the newer units you're just able to plug into the header and take it off to a DMM and measure the bias. So that's why I've got these clips in here. I'm just measuring the emitter resistors, just measuring the voltage across these resistors to set the bias. So it's been sitting for a while now and I'm quite happy. So I'm going to go and we'll change out these resistors for proper fuses, and we'll start to put the thing together, and be time to play some music just to finish off then. Right, we're all back together then, and let's just power up from the rear panel. We should see our LED sequence there, that's fine. And then previously it just sat with a red flashing light there. But now we can turn on alright, defaults to CD. So let's just turn up the volume.
While you were the one with all